Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. What's today's date? March 31st. This is Easter week for those that celebrate Easter, Resurrection week. Um, Happy spring for all of those who have allergies and that live in heavy pollinated areas. More power to you. I hope you are finding some type of comfort and relief because it is crazy out there. Welcome to Politics in Plain English, where we get down to the political news, what's happening, why it's happening, and what it means for you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you all for coming in. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. Yes, I am a little earlier. I am early today. I have a dentist appointment today. And if you notice anything different with me today, I have rubber bands. Annoying, but it is part of the process. So bear with me because I have to readjust how I talk a lot. Good morning, everybody coming in. Thank you so much. Please share it out. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend that I am live. This will not be a really long live today because I've got to be out of here in an hour. So we're going to try to keep this in an hour, if you will. We're just going to dig right into it. What has happened over the weekend? What is going to happen towards the week? What are the biggest bombshells that are going on? So let's just take a deep dive. So first things first, gas prices. Okay. Gas prices on a national average have actually hit $4 for regular gas. That's not mid-grade. That's not high grade. That is regular gas. Has now hit a national average of $4, which diesel is now national average. I think it's $5 and like 15 cents, something like that, but it's over $5 is the national average. What does that mean for you? Well, those 18-wheelers that transport your produce, your groceries, your goods, your supplies, even Amazon, take diesel gas, right? So it's going to cost them a lot more to fill up their tank, to transport those things, which guess who is going to suffer directly from it? The consumer, because they have to eat up that cost somewhere, right? So the consumer is going to eat up the end of that cost. We still dealing with tariffs that are going on. So these are the things, the economy. For those that voted for Trump, are you winning right now with your purse? The answer is no. There are no job gains. There are more job losses. We've seen 300,000 Black women be pushed out of the workforce. We are now seeing Black males being pushed out of the workforce in the same rate. We are seeing late mortgages be on the rise. We've also seen where it is pretty much impossible for folks who are homeowners to refinance because interest rates are just that awful, right? And Jerome Powell, the chair, stated he's not changing the interest rates because of the economy. He's just not doing it. So that's that with the gas. And we have our president here talking about all of those countries that can't get jet fuel because of the Strait of Hormuz, like the United Kingdom, which refused to get involved in the decapitation of Iran. I have suggestions for you. Number one, buy from the US. We have plenty. And number two, build up some delayed courage, go to the Strait and just take it. Doesn't it sound familiar? Just take it. Doesn't he talk about women that way? Remember when he said, grab the women they just let me do whatever I want. He applies the same principles everywhere, right? He applies the same exact principles everywhere throughout his entire disgusting excuse for life. Just take it. That's not really diplomatic. That's not how this thing goes. And it's not working for him either. It's not working for the United States. It's not working for anyone to just take it. Then he says, you'll have to start learning how to fight for yourself. The US won't be there to help you anymore. Just like we weren't there for us. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done. Go get your own oil. We know for a fact that Iran has not been decimated. Okay, because if you see, Iran is making videos letting you know what they're going to do. 1, 2, we're coming for you. That is what Iran is doing. Iran is causing so many people to flee Israel right now. They've got Israel in a chokehold, like a serious chokehold. Not only that, Iran has the world in a chokehold by controlling and literally shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, where our fuel travels through, where a large percent of fuel for other folks travel through. Now, let's dissect this. He's talking about these other countries. These other countries are our NATO allies. These other countries, when 9/11 happened, without question, put their boots on the ground too and lost many lives. These are the people that have stood up for us. You got Canada, who stood up for us. Even in Greenland lost the most soldiers out of anybody during this. Everyone has been taken effect by this crazy ass man. So he's promoting more violence. He's not being diplomatic. He's not even trying to come up with a strategy. Iran don't trust him. We don't trust him. I don't blame him. Okay. I just don't. He's pathetic. He's a petulant child. He has dementia and need to be sat down somewhere, and needs to go to someone's home where there's a nurse around the clock to not only wipe his butt, but to also take him on walks in the garden, in the gated garden, and take his phone away from him and just let him watch cartoons and play Uno. That's what they need to do at this point, and change his catheter, because he has no business running the United States of America the way that he's ran his beauty pageants, the way that he's ran his failed businesses. He has no business in here. But hey, this is what you voted for. And I keep telling people, being racist is expensive. Racism is very expensive. Go look at the pump. Go look at the pump when you pump your gas, okay? So we have that going on. He's over there in the middle of the night, threatening this, threatening that, sending this, sending that, doing this, saying all these like really, really crazy things. Meanwhile, everyone that he has endorsed has lost. Every single person. Every single person has lost. Is it Trump or is it Israel? It is both, because Israel is using Trump to get what they need done. But Israel and Trump are tied hand to hand because they look at each other the same. They look at each other the same because they're tyrants. Okay. And they know that Trump needs war to keep us out of the Epstein files, but we're not going to stay out of the Epstein files. Bibi Netanyahu needs the war to keep him out of jail. They're one and the same. They are absolutely one and the same. And we also know that people in Israel, higher ups, higher ranking officials in Israel, are in the Epstein files. Let's not forget that. Okay. So we have that going on, right? We have that going on. Also, we know that TSA workers did start to get paychecks last night. But how long is that going to last? I don't know how long that's going to last. Probably not that long. I'm sure that there will be another fight over that. They are using people as pawns into their sick game that they're playing with us. It just is what it is. Now, the Supreme Court will be hearing from our lawyers today about birthright citizenship. What is birthright citizenship? What is birthright citizenship? There's been several Democratic politicians that's come out against the war. If you watch them, several high-ranking ones have come out against it because he did not go about this the correct way. They are calling this the choice war. That's what they're calling it, and that's what it is. AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Lord, what is her name? I cannot think of her name. Anyway, I could give you a long list, but that's it. The next thing is, I'm glad you brought up the FIFA. FIFA is losing a lot of money because a lot of people are reselling their tickets because they're too afraid to let their people come in our country because ICE is supposed to be present at the FIFA games. And they're telling them do not come. The same reason why Bad Bunny will not do an American tour, because they know it's a setup. They know it's a setup to set their people up so that when they're dispersing to leave, they're going to have ICE stationed out in the areas when they're leaving. Might not be directly outside of the arenas, but they will be in surrounding areas. And what they're going to do, cattle herd, have you ever heard of that? They will cattle herd them where they corner them, and they'll be able to lock up a massive amount of people. So it is what it is. It is going to be a disastrous problem. This fight over TSA is not over. Mark my words for that. Now, let's go on to a couple of other matters. So as I was stating, the Supreme Court is going to hear birthright citizenship. It is the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment that says anybody born on U.S. soil or has been granted their citizenship are citizens. Donald Trump is sending these lawyers, and there's no longer any top lawyers in the Justice Department. There's no longer, because people have refused to put their careers on the line. Because what is happening is, if you've seen before when they tried this to go after James Comey and Letitia James, because of the grave mistakes, because of their lying, because of them indicting them illegally, and then got dismissed and thrown out, guess what? The girl that he used, who was an insurance lawyer, is now facing being disbarred. Just like Michael Cohen got disbarred. No lawyer wants to put their name on the line for this crap. No lawyer wants to put their name on the line for this, because we're talking about once Trump is over, once this part is over, what are you going to do? There is no way in hell. And let me let you guys a little insight on a law degree. A law degree costs at minimum, just we talk about law, we're not even talking about undergrad. Law degree. Law degree. We're not talking about undergrad. Just the law school, that is anywhere from 2.5 to 3 years. Just law school. At a minimum is $130,000. So no one is going to, not a smart person, is going to jeopardize their $130,000 at minimum dollar investment to go down the wash from a president who isn't going to be even here long enough. I know I would. I would not put my credentials on the line for that, because once you're disbarred, to get back accepted into the bar is pretty much not happening. It's not. It is not happening. It's not happening. So he has these frivolous lawyers that are going to argue in front of the Supreme Court today to overturn the 14th Amendment. That is not how you overturn an amendment. Now, you can make an amendment to the amendment, but you know how that there is a process for that too. The process for overturning the 14th Amendment, first of all, the states have to come together and Congress have to come together, and it's got to be 2/3 of Congress that votes for this. So there's steps to this. You just don't say something. There isn't a pin. He loved to call Joe Biden the auto pin. No, this is the auto pin guy. He's just, everything is an executive order, because we know he cannot go through Congress and actually get something passed. We know that he cannot bring a bill up to the House of Representatives and then let the House of Representatives vote on it and make amendments, and then send it to the Senate, let Senate vote on it, make amendments, whatever. If they've got to send it back to the House, they'll send it back to the House, and then it'll go back to the Senate. They vote on it and to put it on its desk, because it's never going to pass. It's never going to pass, because the things that he's asking for, people are not going to really and truly show their vote for some of these things. Just like they're floating around the idea of stripping whatever healthcare you have left to fund this choice war. Say it with me, guys. Choice war. This was a choice by Donald Trump. Trump's choice war. Okay. They're needing $200 million. They're trying to take $200 million out of healthcare. Mind you, they've already stripped it down. But what they want to take $200 million out of healthcare and fund Trump's choice war. Let that sink in. But this was supposed to be America first. This was supposed to make America better. This was supposed to make America greater. I never thought that stripping away healthcare privileges is making anybody better. Really, in realistic terms, it is making people sicker. It is going to leave a lot of people untreated. And then it's going to turn into desperations. We're going to start seeing the emergency room used as an actual doctor's office. Then the medical debt is going to increase. Now, luckily, your medical bills can no longer be on your credit report. So if you do have medical bills on your credit report, you need to go ahead and challenge those. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You need to go ahead and challenge those and rearrange that. But that's where we're here with this. Okay, the 14th Amendment, he is wanting to change birthright citizenship. But here's the thing. If you want to change birthright citizenship, then you know what? Barron Trump need to go too. Because your wife, I don't address her as first lady, your wife was not a citizen when she had him. Neither were her parents a citizen just until a couple of years ago. And they used the genius clause, which is for really smart people, to get her citizenship, her and her family's citizenship. We know there ain't no geniuses walking around here like, what? She can barely speak English. So then all of your kids, Ivanka needs to go. Eric and Trump Jr. needs to go because all of his wives, none of his wives are from here. So if you really want to talk about birthright citizenship, and this is how I think it's going to fail. You know why it's going to fail? Amy Coney Barrett, Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett, her children, she adopted that are not from here. See what I'm saying? She's not going to vote for that. This is not how you move. This is not how you make amendments to the Constitution. And we know that they don't really have a leg to stand on when they're arguing this. So I will be listening to these arguments while I am in the dentist's office, because there's an app that I use to listen to it and for it to break it down to me so that we can, talk about this in a little bit more detail or whatever. But yet this is the craziest stuff that they're coming up with. The craziest stuff, because they want to whitewash America. They want to make America great again. But my question is, when has America ever been great for Black and brown people? When has it? We've made some strides, but when has it ever been great? Please point me to that direction. Please show me. Yes, are we able to make more money? Yes, are we able to get education? But they're even trying to strip away that from us now. Because remember, they told us, go get an education. And that's your way in. Go get an education. But see, what they miscalculated is that we were actually going to do it and be great at it. And because Black women are the fastest growing educated population, we are the most educated. And they are the fastest growing educated population right now. What does that entail? When the mom is educated, regardless whether she's a single mom or not, when the mom is educated, what does that translate? That means you're going to have educated children. Okay? That means you're going to have educated children. That means you're going to have children that has choices, because they're going to be exposed to more than just their neighborhood local Walmart and bodega. They're going to see that life is more than just the zip code and the area code that you live in. And that's what they're most afraid of. They're so afraid that they're losing power that they're doing any and everything that they can to try to hold their grip. Just like women's rights. Women's rights had nothing to do with Black people. It had everything to do with the Caucasian population, because they're not having children at the rate that they once were. Because, yes, white women are choosing careers too. White women are choosing to get married later on in their years and not having 4 and 5 children. They're choosing to have 1, maybe 2 now. So what does that mean? That means that their race is not procreating at the rate that it once was. And what is happening, the Black and brown is procreating, because they're also procreating with, white people are procreating with Black and brown people. And the Constitution says a drop of blood makes you black or brown. So they're seeing that right before their very eyes, and they're trying to do what any and everything. So that's why, because statistically showing Black women are not the ones going to the abortion clinic. It's not us. That's not really something our faith goes into. Our families are very proud when it comes to, we can raise this baby together. You're going to be fine. We're going to come together, and it takes a village, because that is the way our culture is structured. So this abortion ban, contraceptives ban, had nothing to do with us, had everything to do with them, because they want to force their women to have children. Because they're looking at it and seeing, we're no longer the dominant race. We're being overpopulated, outpopulated. We're being pushed out as the majority. Okay. So that's why that, right? So over the weekend, we had several No Kings protests. And guys, I'm doing this off of the dome. Good morning. I'm doing this off of the dome this morning. So bear with me. We had several No Kings protests, over 5 million people, I believe it was. Over 3,200 protests popping up in cities. And I'm talking about popping up in places that are heavy red. They were down there protesting in Mar-a-Lago. Okay. Now, you know, for them people to have their golf carts down there talking about No Kings, that's a sight to see. Okay. And while that was going on, you had antagonists that were also along for the ride. And they were fucking around and finding out. Okay. So let's take a look. I just want to show y'all a couple of things. Y'all know I love a good video. Okay. I love a good video to show y'all how these folks be effing around and finding out. Like, seriously, they really do. So let's just take a look at this real quick. And this will be a good laugh for you today, because I sure did laugh.
Ice is made of water. Eat dick, Ice. Oh.
See what happens? You see what happens? Good morning. Thank you guys for coming in. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. You see what happened? Y'all see what happened when you run up and get done up? Okay. This man was pretending to be ICE and running up on protesters. Okay. At nighttime, they're out there, you know, you see them in little pockets and little corners and all of this stuff. And they done whooped his ass. They done whooped his ass. He even passed out for a couple of seconds. See, this is what happened. Good morning. This is what happened when you don't mind your business. Racism is expensive and it's costly. It's costly, especially when you decide to intentionally antagonize people who are ready for whatever. Do I feel sorry for him? I don't. I do not feel sorry for him whatsoever. Because what were you doing over there? They have specific areas for you to go. They have specific Trump rallies for you to go. They've got Klan rallies going on. They've got Proud Boy rallies. They've got like all of that going on. So go find one and go sign up for one and go where your people are. And I don't understand this. Why do you guys, and this goes back to what I've been saying. I've been saying, why are you guys so mad? White people, please, if you're in the sky, if you're watching, please answer the question for me. Why are you so mad? You have the House, you have the Senate, you have the presidency, you've got ICE, you've got the Department of War, you've got DOGE, you've got high gas prices, you've got tariffs. You're deporting people, even people with citizenship. Okay. You have the ability to pull over people just because they speak Spanish or look Spanish. Okay. Why are y'all so mad? The Affordable Care Act is pretty much dismantled. Okay. The Department of Education, you're trying to dismantle that, and they're trying to dismantle how people are repaying for their loans, forcing us to choose another loan repayment or either suffer. Why are you so mad? I thought this is what winning is supposed to look like for you guys, because this is what he said. We're at war. Remember? We're at war. You have a martyr in Charlie Kirk, who we know was against everything. He was against the Epstein files. Charlie Kirk was against a war. He was against a lot of this stuff, right? But it's so surprisingly, he got killed, right? Which leads me to my next topic, is that the very bullet case that Kash Patel and his incompetent FBI workers decided to engrave in this bullet casing, right? That they were good morning, that they were anti-Trump, right? Come to find out, guess what, guys? Come to find out, the bullet casing doesn't even match the forensic in old buddy's, So now they're delaying the investigation. They're delaying court hearings because of this. Because we already know Charlie Kirk, I don't care for him. I don't care for him at all. I don't care for him at all. But there is, if it's going to be freedom of speech for me, it's got to be freedom of speech for everybody, right? Follow me here. It's got to be freedom of speech for everybody, right? But the problem is, now I think Erica Kirk, who used to work for Trump because she used to work for the Trump pageants, also was tied up into Epstein, saw someone she could connect herself to as a white nationalist because he was going around to college campuses and stirring up the youth vote, right? And saying some of the most outlandish stuff, which as a female, she shouldn't even be okay with standing behind, because he was saying pretty much that women shouldn't even go to college. Women shouldn't be educated. All they should do is have babies and clean the house. That's pretty much what he was saying. But he was anti-war. And he wanted them Epstein files open up. He was anti-pedo, very much so. That was something we knew he was against. And the more powerful and the more louder he was getting about the Epstein files, they literally blew his top back. Then the grifter, the grieving, grifting wife, that's what we're going to call her, the grieving, grifting wife, is standing up on podiums selling merchandise. And they can say that she's going to forgive her killer, but however, Drewski does a skit on her, never mentioned her name, never called her out her name, just said this is what the white Republican woman looks like. And she saw a blonde hair, blue eyes, a bad outfit, terrible makeup, a pantsuit, and fireworks, and automatically identified with that. She wants to sue him, but freedom of speech only works for her, I guess. Do y'all see the hypocrisy here with this bullshit? And now T-Mobile is threatening to take $1 million endorsement deal away from Juicy. Go ahead and try it. and find out what happened with Disney. Go ahead and try it and find out what happened with Target. Because it was a parody, it was comedy. Remember Jimmy Kimmel? Go ahead and find out. These companies are going to fuck around and find out real quickly. And we better wake up and start using the power of the person. I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start listing companies also that have donated to this MAGA madness so that we know who is giving money where. And we have to, not only do we protest in the street, but we have to protest with our dollars. Why do you think the Montgomery bus boycott worked? Because they inflicted pain for such a long time with their dollars, with their coin, with their money, they dinero, they cheddar, they cheese, whatever you want to call it. They use that to inflict pain. Look at Target now. Target can't get out of the red for nothing. Target can't even get in the black, more or less the green. Okay, like they can't even get in the black. They can't even get in the black. They have been permanently in the red since the boycott started. And Jamal Bryant, sit down. I like you, but I need you to sit down because you weren't the one that started the Target boycott, and I need you to just get in line. Okay, that's all I need you to do is follow suit. Furthermore, we're not saying, and let me make this very clear. Let me make this very, very clear. We're not saying to our entertainers, to businesses, we're not saying you can't support you can't identify with certain political parties or political ideas. We're not saying that. You can support anyone that you want to. You can donate to anyone that you want to, right? Okay? You can. You really can. You can donate to any of these people. You really can. What we're saying is that you can't expect us to be okay with aligning with policies and language that oppress us. You can't expect us to still support you monetarily so that you can still hold your views out loud and still live the way you live and still be in spaces that most of us will never be able to access. You have to understand that. So understand when you jump off the porch and you put your money behind these things, that's great. If you believe in that, that's fine. Believe in whatever you want to believe in. But the same way you believe in stuff, there's a majority, there are thousands of people that believe in something else. And what is furthermore alarming is that our Black and brown folks are being caught up in this whole, well, he's a Christian. Is he really? Show me the values that he is a Christian. Because he can't even say 2 Corinthians correctly. He holds the Bible upside down. And there's nowhere in the Bible that it says take children off of food stamps and insurance. Nowhere in it does it says make prices so high that people can't even afford to live. Nowhere does it says disregard your immigrants. Jesus was an immigrant himself. They don't like this type of teaching. Jesus was born from, Joseph was a carpenter. Understand? They don't like this type of teaching though. But they want to talk about he's Christian, he's this, he's that. Show me one thing that he has done. Oh, well, I don't like abortions, don't get one. Oh, I don't like same-sex marriage, don't get one. Don't partake in one. But that doesn't mean because you don't believe you don't like the actions of someone loving someone of the same sex that they shouldn't have a right to live peacefully. That's the problem. Because it does say in the Bible that we shall not judge. Judging is a sin. So when you judge, oh, because they are in a same-sex relationship, that they shouldn't be allowed to live comfortably because you disagree with what they're doing. Aren't you judging? Though? Talking about they're going to hell. Isn't that judging someone? No sinner is greater than the other, right? Right? But you're also supporting someone, as y'all see on the screen, this girl right here. You're also supporting someone who is a pedophile, who has said they will grab women by the, who has also said that his daughter is a hot piece of ass. Okay, but you're so pushing it and so women's rights and you want to protect children. But see, Chili, this is where you messed up. Okay, Chili, you think we're stupid, dumb, depleted, delayed. I don't know what you think we are. But see, you're lying. We're not going, we're not buying it. Right? So, and I did a short on this. She comes here with this type of crap. I want to be clear, I'm not MAGA and do not support any of his policies that are causing great harm to the American people. You don't? Oh, you don't, do you? You don't? Okay. Okay, you don't? Okay. Okay. You don't follow these people? Okay, let's see. Okay. You don't, hold on. What is his name? She must have unfollowed him. And it looks like she did. See what I'm talking about? So yesterday, I'm gonna show y'all. Let me go to my own clip on YouTube. Let me go to my own, let me see here. Real fits. We're gonna go and we're gonna look at something here. Just watch this for me. Hey everybody, I just had to come here and do some news you could use here with politics and plain English. Yes, that is my 10-year-old in the background. He did dress me this morning, so please don't mind the headscarf or the oversized glasses. But let's get down to business here. So we have an issue with Chili not standing in her what? Hey guys, shit that is. She's not standing in the fact that not only has she been discovered to be a MAGA supporter because she is donating through what? Dollars, that she also has perpetuated the conspiracy theory that Michelle Obama was born a man. And she tries to make an excuse as to why this ended up in her repost column. She's blaming it on everything but herself. Honey, get you a new PR person. Just say that you did it. And you know, you don't really feel that way or whatever the case may be. But on this Good Palm Sunday, putting out a statement such as this just isn't going to help your career. Guys, just take a look and listen. She's blaming it on the placement of where the repost icon is. She's blaming, oh, I didn't know until everybody told me no. What it is that people found it out and you don't want those tour sales to decline. So we already know what this is about. We even seen Salt come out and try to like jump in there. They're trying to save the tickets. They're trying to save the ticket sales, but this is the same person that got caught up in all that stuff with Pebbles and things like that. She didn't read the fine print there either, right? Like she didn't read the fine print there. And what is so funny is Chili, just not too long ago, TLC was pretty much broke. You can't afford to support someone's policies like this. You can't afford it. And that's why I look at people that are middle class and below middle class. You can't afford to align yourself with folks that are rich, that are mega rich. They're playing a different game. They're playing with your livelihood, actually, and they don't give a damn. But for her to say, because if you look here, this is where the reshare button is. Baby, are you okay? No. See, the problem is you got caught. And the math ain't math and the lies ain't adding up to the truth, okay?
Of course.
Because we already know that TLC isn't the TLC of the 1990s, baby. And what I also find it interesting as well is that you want to apologize and clear the air, but you don't support anything of the people that have supported the TLC career either. The TLC career, your fan base is Black women. I don't want no scrub, but scrub is the kind that ain't getting no love from me. Yeah, that. So I creep, yeah, just in on the down low. Yeah, that fan base. You're aligning with people who are literally coming after your own fan base, who are stripping the rights of your own fan base, who are making it harder for your own fan base to live a decent life and to make a decent living. Girl, you was damn near in the soup kitchen line. I was talking to one of my supporters, I think it was yesterday, 2 days ago, about it. You was damn near in the soup kitchen line. Okay? She's talking about she's not MAGA, but look, you see her name right here? Girl, if you don't find something else to do, if you don't find something else to do and somewhere else to go and somewhere else to tell this lie to, but us, we ain't going. We not buying, we not, girl, no. We not even gonna throw you a life raft because you playing on our top, and that's the problem. The problem isn't that you're supporting him. If that's who you want to support, cool, but I can't support you. And you have to understand that. And you have to be okay with if you are supporting someone who is this highly controversial, the potential blowback from it. Mm-hmm. So now you didn't fucked around and found out while y'all in the middle of a tour. I'm sure these ticket sales have plummeted. I'm sure people are reselling their tickets, asking for refunds if they're available to be refunded. I am sure this tour is everything and done. And what resurfaced this morning was an audio of T-Boz stating that Chili did indeed vote for Donald Trump. She's MAGA, okay? She's MAGA. The reason why you're able to do the things that you do, reason why you're able to still perform are because the African American crowd base. You like, did you forget that? So we don't see you donating any of the people that have donated to you. And that's the next problem is you're so pro, this, and you're so grateful for the life that you've had to live off of the support of Black and brown women. Why aren't you supporting them in return? Okay. Now I know people might not like Beyonce and Rihanna and whatever. They're this. But Jay-Z just did a really good interview on GQ, and I encourage you guys to listen to it. And he said there is a right-wing agenda that is being pushed, and it's dangerous. See, remember when those riots broke out in Baltimore and all of those people got locked up? Guess who bailed out all those people? Not Chili. Not Kid Rock. It was Jay-Z and Beyonce. They located a group that they trusted and probably vetted, provided them with the funding because they're not doing it for applause. But they bailed out all those people and had paid for legal counsel. Mm-hmm. You want to say, oh, the NFL this, the NFL, he is right. We can't stop at just kneeling. Okay, we kneel, but what's the next play? He is right in that sense. That's just like, let's go back to our civil rights movement. It was beyond the protest. So, okay, we can get in the street, but what's after that? What else can we do? We can use our dollars. Then what else can we do? We can push these things, and we can also put things underneath the umbrella to make the cause bigger and greater and more impactful. Y'all gotta be smarter than just, you know what I'm saying? Like, please, I don't want to hear it. Meanwhile, and then the next thing is chili. Girl, I counted up the money and it was only like $900. You really can't afford to donate to them like that. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm sure that they're greatly appreciated, but we know that we know that their base, who they support, are rich people. It just is. But $900, girl, $900. You could have went and did like a book bag drive for $900. You could have picked one school and did the kindergartners, right? Going into school, and could have donated $900 worth of book bags. I would have preferred you did that. And even if you voted for Trump, that's your own business. But I would have preferred that. $900. $900. Girl, you gotta be better than that. $900. And then she claimed, I would never disrespect Michelle Obama. I didn't know what I did. Girl, you know what you did. Like, please. You can't scrub all the internet, because see, when you don't know everything that you like and other people are keeping receipts on you, the receipts are out there. The receipts are out there. They just really are. And it's sad. Because we love TLC. If Left Eye was alive, she'd be like, girl, we know that for a fact. We know that for a fact. Girl. And is that why your son married who he married? I mean, you can love who you want to love, but it's a question. Is that why your son married who he married? And if y'all don't know who her son married, go look at her stories and go look. Go see her swirly grandchild. I said it. The same way, we've got to stop allowing people to use our culture to advance. Look at Kim Kardashian. She ain't nowhere talking about this. She ain't nowhere talking about how ICE was around here snatching people that work in her sweatshops. Okay. That clean her house. That are nannies to her kids. But Tristan Thompson was up at the White House taking pictures, talking about, I'm over here saying hi with JD Vance. Who gives a damn about the eyeliner wearer in chief? Stop buying her product. I stopped supporting her a long time ago. Chloe, we looking at you crazy too. Look at your baby daddy, but we know that you're not a good judge of character either. None of you are. None of you actually are. You just aren't. You know what I'm saying? So then you've got the judge in Doge. Y'all remember Doge? Oh, side note, United Airlines has also joined Delta with suspending special services for congressmen and women and senators. They've also joined that. Okay, until they fully fund TSA. TSA is not fully funded. Let's be clear. They just threw a little money at them. But United Airlines also joined that. And I expect more airlines to join that, because that fight with that is not over yet. Okay. So let's just remember that. Okay. Okay. So remember, Doge, they had the Doge staffers do a deposition. Well, they were fighting hard to make people take that down, that video, make the video unavailable. Well, the judge ordered that it must stay up. Mind you, these kids, because that's what they are, they're like 23, 24 years old. They could not define DEI. They admitted that they never reduced the deficit, and that they wiped out $100 million in humanities grants, including the Holocaust documentary, by using ChatGPT. Did you hear what I just said? They couldn't define DEI. They admitted that they didn't reduce anything and that they wiped out 100 million in humanity grants. And this is including the Holocaust documentary. And they were using words like women's rights, the Holocaust, because they said it brings harm to white people. Child, please. And they were doing this by using ChatGPT. I'm glad we're here. ChatGPT quietly has brokered a deal with the government to now make your threads available for them to see without your permission. So if you use ChatGPT, I am now using Claude, CLAUDE. It runs just like it. I actually like it a lot better. I think it runs smoother to me. You can copy your conversations and paste it over there and tell it, listen, I want you to know what I've been talking about over here so I don't have to rehash this, and ask it to put it in its memory. So everything, if you talk about 12 different things, right? You could put it in the memory, and then whatever it's like you're building a relationship with an AI person, right? This is like your friend, your computer friend. So they'll know everything, your personality, your goals, what you're into, what you've been researching, the type of questions that you have, how you speak. It'll be placed in there. I do think it's a great tool to use. That still doesn't mean that I think we shouldn't pick up a book and read and have conversations with professionals about these certain areas. But it is also a good tool to help you structure emails, to help you structure, outline, in my case, papers. I can outline a paper and then go put all my ideas and let it compose the outline, and then I add whatever I need to add on it, and then it lessens the time that it takes on that, but then it allows me to go and write my paper, right, in less amount of time. Time is essential. Your time is precious. You can't use it to plagiarize, and write all of these things yourself. There are still things that need a human behind it, but you can use it to help structure things, to give you the outline of it, to give you the framework of it. And then you use that. And most people know what to outline, because anybody that is over the age of 30 knows when we were in high school, we used to have to write papers. We would have to turn an outline in first, use it to help you, but you have to put the ideas in it. And that's what people forget. You put your ideas in it and then let it frame it for you. And then you take that and then let that help you write the paper. So yeah, be very careful now with ChatGPT. They now can see your stuff without any type of needing permission. Also, again, I can't stress this enough. If you are traveling, take your face recognition off, because a TSA or ICE agent can just hold your phone, because we know ICE is running the security where you go through. They can use your phone and just hold it up to your face. Whereas if you have a code, they have to get a warrant to go in your phone. If you don't believe me, go look it up. Okay. If you are traveling, take your biometric security off. Rely on putting your passcode in there, because they can look through your phone. And right now they are targeting anybody that has anything bad to say about the administration. Even if it's at customs, it's happening big time at customs. People have talked about it. Journalists have talked about it. Mainstream media isn't highlighting it like that, but it's happening, where they are looking through people's phones, and they'll detain folks for having different viewpoints, and has been criticism Trump. They have been detaining them maybe for like 12 hours and eventually letting them go. But who wants to go through that, right? Their whole name of the game is to embarrass. That's the name of their game right there. Okay, so let's remember that. Also, let me think. it was one more thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I'm trying to remember. Shout out to South Carolina for making it to the Final Four yet again. I love me some Dawn Staley. There was another election that grabbed another state Senate seat in Florida. Florida is turning crazy blue, which is, pretty wild. Also, you guys know at the National Mall, someone has placed a gold toilet on a throne that reads The Secret Handshake. They're the group that is responsible for the statue of Trump and Epstein. We do know that is going down. Beware. I did hear some rumblings of there's a census that is coming out that says 2026, and the next census isn't to 2030, so don't be fooled. It says your response is required by law. No. I would be very careful about that. I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh, the national gas prices for premium is $4.90. Mid-grade is $4.54. Yeah. That's about it, guys. That's about it. Russia is still doing Russia things. They're still giving out compromise. And if you don't know what compromise is, that is information. Also, I knew what it was pertaining to gas. Trump is stating that now pretty much they're going to allow gas stations to give out diluted gas. Yeah, you heard that right. Because of this choice war, gas stations now here in the near future will have diluted gas. I need you to Google that and see what that means for you and your car, your vehicle. If you live in heavy metropolitan areas, good for you, because you can park your car and you can ride the trains and trolleys. I parked my car. Luckily, I live in the inner city, so I can jump. We've got trolleys, we've got light rails, all these great things that get you there pretty fast and really efficient at low cost, because you're not going to break my bank. You're not going to break my bank, and they are diluting gas. So be aware of that. Do your research on that. See what what gas stations are going to have diluted gas, and again, what that means for your car. And look for alternatives. That means if you got a buddy at work, y'all can carpool together and go in on gas prices together for the week. I suggest you do it. If you live in an area where it has public transportation that is easy for you to access and it's not a long travel time, I highly suggest that you use it. Times are getting very scary. It is getting very alarming. Also, they have approved meat that is not real. So when you go in your grocery stores, the label is not going to say that this lab-grown meat. It's not going to say that. It's going to say cell-derived meat. It may say, there's another term and I can't think of it off the top of my head, so I apologize for that. But look for that alternative verbiage on there. That's not real meat. That's lab-created meat. Thanks to Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. So what is the alternative to that? Going to your local butcher, finding farms that actually sell their stuff right out, find farmers markets that actually sell your produce. Also, be very careful of what says organic on it. There are numbers that will tell you that it is not organic at all. Google it, because they are doing, I know with bananas, they're putting bananas in like this machine and they're spraying with them with stuff so that they become ripe faster. So be careful with that. Farmers markets are on the way, on the rise, and is the way. Wherever you are, Google farmers markets, see where you can go. I know where I am located in Charlotte, they have farmers markets. They even have it where you can pre-order your meat and they will bring it to you. They will have it ready at the farmers market for you. Really be careful about what we are putting in our bodies and our kids' bodies, exposing ourselves to. It is scary times out here. And the best thing is, and also these hydro growing stations that you can buy off of Amazon or whoever. You can go like Lowe's, Home Depot. You go to Lowe's, don't go to Home Depot. You can go to Lowe's and buy it. And basically you're growing your greens off of water. So that's a good idea. Grow your herbs. You can get a windowsill thing where you can plant your herbs and you can grow your herbs and literally snip it and use it for your dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever it is. Get creative, but also get serious about it. Get very serious about it, because this is only the beginning. Yes, we are slowly becoming a dystopia. Like I said before, those folks, they used to laugh at our political science, sociology, degrees. They're not so bad now, because they teach you how to critically think and how to think for yourself and how to research. So yeah, these are the things that are going on right now. That is it. That is all that I have for today. I appreciate you guys so much for joining me. Again, please like, share, subscribe, become a member. I share out an array of different things back there. But make sure you sub so that you can come. It's Tuesday through Thursday we're here. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we're here. And on the weekends, what I'm going to try to do is do more shorts, so that when it's like hot button things that are happening throughout the day, you are made aware in real time. Thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. I really, really do. So that you're made aware in real time. And keep your eyes and ears open. And remember, you're welcome. You're welcome. And remember, if something sounds weird, it probably is weird. And do your research on it. Just don't rely on mainstream media. You've got Joy Reid, you've got Don Lemon, you've got Jim Acosta, you've got the Midas Touch. These are great. Shout out to Ronnie Q. These are great channels that you can go to actually hear the real news. I just break it down in plain English for you, okay? It's like we sit at the kitchen table having coffee time. But don't get lost in the mainstream media. Now, I do watch MS Now, but I watch Rachel Maddow, Lawrence O'Donnell, people like that are going to keep it real. But we must be in the know. We must be in the know so that we can make a plan, so that we're in a better position and that we are not only aware, but we're ready. Because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. But anyway, thank you for joining Politics in Plain English, where we discuss political topics, what they are, how they affect you, and why it's going on, okay? And until tomorrow, I'll see you guys later. Have a great, fantastic day, okay?